Okay. What's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Christmas Eve edition of Morning Scone presented by Brock, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, and Hudco Roofing, hudcoroofing.com. Merry Christmas Eve to all of you. You got family plans today. I hope they all go swimmingly. I did watch Christmas Vacation last night. Very much feeling in the festive holiday mood right now. Very excited about that. We head into this this Christmas holiday, man. My last show of 2021 was yesterday for AFR, so I was off today and took off all next week, so I'll be back on radio after the new year. But looking forward to some downtime, man. Of course, we'll be here for Morning Scone every day, and we'll talk about relevant sports news that's out there, and hang out, and hopefully y'all will keep coming back. And we will be doing, obviously, a show on Christmas Day because we do Morning Scone every day. So got there in the headline, Ian Book's going to start for the Saints. 9 players on the COVID list, including Trevor Siemian and Taysom Hill. So Ian Book era, let's go. All right, I'll say some good mornings. Let me know what y'all got here. Todd Harris, what's up, Skip? Good morning. Lawrence Corbin, thanks again for the help, Skip. Appreciate you greatly. Landry Kirk Truax, good morning. Jonathan Martin, Dad, good morning. Bart St. Germain, Samuel Merrifield. Thoughts on the weekend rotation? We're talking baseball? Wow, talking baseball already. I think Devin Fontenot is going to get a crack at it. I think Eric Raiselman will be in there. And I'd probably go Javen Coleman. Not lacking for options. Still got Mikhail Hilliard. Garrett Edwards pitched really well at times a year ago. You got arms now. They just got to figure out roles, and if they figure that out, and this could be a team that's capable of winning a national championship. Amy Hyde, good morning. Hey, Maurice Coleman, good morning. Brian Wynn, Merry Christmas to you and yours. Yeah, Samuel, I mean, you put Fontenot, Coleman, Hilliard. Maybe that's where they start with some more veteran guys. We'll see. Will Laverne, a Christmas Hudco jingle. It's going to be that kind of party? We're going to start it off there? Okay.
Hudco Roofing! Hudco Roofing! When you need a roof, call someone you know. Scone, Ontario.
All you need is Hudco.
Hudco Roofing! Hudco Roofing! Call Hudco Roofing!
364
1007! Hudco Roofing! Hudco Roofing!
There it is. Ask and you shall receive. Mel Schmidt, good morning. What do you think about Ian Book, man? Kind of actually excited to see it, see what it looks like. So I went back yesterday when I heard that news, started doing some digging. He only played, if you remember, the Saints only played 2 preseason games. So the NFL, going to a 17-game regular season, moved the preseason from 4 to 3 games. Well, the third preseason game against Arizona was canceled because of Hurricane Ida, and Book didn't play in the second game against Jacksonville. That was Winston, Hill, Siemian that played the whole game. So Book only played the second half of the first preseason game against Baltimore. That's it. He was 9 of 16 for like 126, no touchdowns. He threw a late pick, ugly pick too, but let's see it. Nick Bradley Hole, what's up with Craig lawsuits towards LSU? Thoughts on the outcome? Has that been resolved? I didn't see if it did. I mean, that's all the stuff relating to this kid, the offensive lineman from Clemson, Tristan Lee. I don't blame Craig. I mean, you know, I heard Tristan Lee got a ride and some T-shirts. I mean, it was really, really minimal. They were looking to get rid of James Craig, and that was an opportunity to do it. So, hope that if they were smart, they'd just settle, be done with it. Buck Foreman, good morning. Merry Christmas to you and the family. Go Saints. Who dat? Jared DeLucky, Merry Christmas to you and the family. Got an early Christmas present. Job's complete. Thank you to HUDCO for the great work and the professionalism in replacing my roof. Anyone's looking to replace their roof, repair their roof, HUDCO is the only one you should deal with, and no, I'm not being paid to say this. Thank you, Jerry. Appreciate that, man. We appreciate the opportunity. It was a pleasure working with you, man. Jerry and I were in touch. I remember when I was in LA before the UCLA game. And that was right after Ida, and that was when everybody was trying to get tarped and all that sort of stuff. So, got it done. Thank you, Jerry. Brandon English, good morning. Got lucky. Friend gave me Nunes Old Elk? Nunes Barrel Bourbon? What's Nunes? N-U-N-U-S. Bullet Single Barrel and Penelope Toasted. Penelope. That Penelope's good, man. Kelly Gross, Kurt Westerman, Carrie Hughes. What's your coffee of choice? Whatever one's in my cup. I'm really not a coffee snob, Carrie. Honestly, I think we either have like we get the little K cups, and I think they're mostly Dunkin' Donuts, or if we get Community, or sometimes Krispy Kremes, whatever K cups you can find. Trinity Carter, good morning. Alex Barnes, Michael Merritt, Joey Vincent, Spurge, what's up? Stuart Boudreau. Merry Christmas Eve, Dad. Drum roll. Dad show drum roll. Dad Cajun, is Dewar's 12 a good start in the Scotch field? Wrong person to ask here on that one, Dad Cajun. My apologies, but I am not a Scotch guy. So I'm just not the person to ask there. Trey Earl, good morning. Randall Offrecht. Thought on the LSU baseball offense. It is going to be really, really, really potent. So I did ask this week, what a projected starting lineup might look like for baseball. And the things that might surprise you, Braden Joubert, who's a transfer, started at Nichols and went to Delgado. They think he's a double-digit homer guy, and he probably is in right field, with Dylan Cruz in center. Gavin Dugas in left. The other newcomer that probably works his way into the everyday lineup is going to be McManus at catcher, because they think he's a 15 homer guy as well. And then DH, you're looking at either Beloso or Pearson. Pearson is he's a lefty bat as well from West Monroe, and he's a power guy. So they are going to have a lot of power on this team. When Barry, of course, will start at third base. Thompson at short. Morgan at first. Doty at second. I mean, they are going to be potent, y'all. They're going to be very, very potent. Shelby Kelly, Merry Christmas to you and yours. Probably won't be tuned in tomorrow with Chaos 2-year-old's Christmas. We're usually a little later on Christmas Day. We get up and we do breakfast, and Drew does his Santa and all that sort of stuff. So, it won't be a long show. We'll pop on at some point tomorrow morning. Just wish everybody Merry Christmas. Let's see. Conan's Mojo. Glad we're going to look at Ian Book. I agree. Because if he's your project, this will at least be an indicator if you think you have anything. Like, let me remind you, remember this was a role Matt Flynn was in up in Green Bay when he got a start late in the season, threw 6 touchdown passes in a game. Ultimately, got him his opportunity in Seattle, and then then with the Raiders, and take advantage of these opportunities. It's a great opportunity for Ian Book. What if Ian Book goes off? Does he go until he loses? Trivia, I mean, maybe, because I'll put it to you this way, depending on when Hill and Simeon tested positive, if you have to go your 10 days, there's a chance they wouldn't be available next week for Carolina. So you might be looking at 2 games for Ian Book. Oh, now realistically, he ain't going off. They got no weapons on this team, So he ain't going off. They're 30th in passing offense, 32nd in completion percentage. They're not going to go off. But could they be maybe a little more productive? Hope so. Bryce Burks, good morning. Kyle Milliken, Matt, think Ian Book will be the best quarterback start since Jameis went down. Maybe so, Kyle. Latest on Armstrong and Ramchick Spurs. They didn't practice yesterday, man. And the really tough part about that too is now that they're back to like the normal old school but the COVID protocols where all media availability is virtual. I mean, nobody gets to see practice or even see if he's out there if they're out there for stretch. You know what I mean? George Reitmeyer, good morning. Sherman Glenn, good morning. Let's see, how do we look with left-handed arms? So, of course, Javen Coleman will be your primary guy, but they did naturally address that. So, here you go. Javen Coleman. They brought in Trey Schaefer, if you remember, from Southeastern, who's a lefty. Had him on AFR whenever he signed. They got Riley Cooper, who is a transfer from Arizona, who they brought in, of course, was with Jay Johnson out at Arizona. He's a lefty. And he was a rotation guy for them last year. And then Jacob Hasty is the other lefty who who's been at LSU. See if he can find a role. But you got 4 guys, and and 3 of the 4 have been starters at the college level. So you're better there, certainly. Bryce Burks, Dave Vendur, smash that like button. Thank you, Dave. Kyle Milliken, Deontay comes back next week. Yes. So this will be the 3rd game that Deontay Harris misses. He'll be back for the final 2 games. Jason Champagne. It could be argued Book had better receiving weapons in Notre Dame than he has with the Saints. I mean, if you really wanted to play that game, you might be able to. But the reality is, man, if you're in the NFL, you're still a professional. And trying to remember what receivers he had last year at Notre Dame. I don't remember offhand, so. Get your popcorn ready for LSU baseball. You're going to be impressed. It's going to be a fun year. But let's get through basketball as well, because basketball is having some fun. Tim Gotro, Keaton Berrien, good morning. Napier is going to be back in the Sun Belt in a few years, maybe. If he is, it means he bombed out at Florida, and I wouldn't hurt my feelings. Brad Davis was an excellent hire by Coach O. I like Brad Davis. I think he's going to do really well. I think he was a guy from Baton Rouge, obviously. And I talked to, so there's a really weird connect the dots, but there's a really weird connect the dots, but a friend of mine who played offensive line in college has known Brad Davis since college, because they were both in this area coming out at the same time, obviously. and not only as a player, but a good dude, and also just technically as a coach, very well respected as far as a offensive line technician. So I hope he sticks and stays, man. I really do. That, it was a tough situation when they plucked him from Arkansas last year, in June. So they had to give him a 3-year deal, really to incentivize him to leave that late in the process. So, yeah, man, I hope he does really well. Randall Alfrecht, does Paul get a ring if LSU wins the Natty this season? I don't think so, Randall. I don't think that's how it works, man. I mean, they could give him one, but I don't think so. Cortland Jacob, props to Copeland and Jones for playing in the bowl after entering the portal. Oh, the Florida guys. Oh, yeah. I saw a pic of the new DB's coach at Florida. I don't remember his name. He was at LSU. You can see purple trim under his new Gator shirt he had on, LMAO. You're talking about Corey Raymond. I didn't see that picture. Let's see, Dave Ventura. This is going to have to change the lyrics from calling Baton Rouge to launching in Baton Rouge. Not bad, not bad. Jump back over here to Facebook. YouTube, do me a favor, smash that like button. 75, watching 25 likes. Let's get that up. Thank you so much. 86 here on Facebook. We appreciate y'all. Sean McKinnon, Merry Christmas. Clarity on LSU starting quarterback for the bowl game. Have not yet gotten word about Nussmeier. They're filing an appeal to or a waiver to see if they can get him to play, but no word yet. Oh, Nunes is a store in Youngsville. Thank you, Brandon. Appreciate the clarity. Derek Michael, Merry Christmas. Hope Santa's good to Drew. Thank you, Derek. Appreciate that, man. Same to you and yours. Chris Proctor, good morning. Been on a loop, updates on OCDC hires. The latest was from Football Scoop, Chris, which was Matt House from Kansas City Chiefs. Looks like he's the guy in line for DC. And then Mike Denbrock, who's the OC with Cincinnati, who worked with Brian Kelly both at Notre Dame and early in his career at Grand Valley State. Excuse me. Looks like those are the guys in line. Chris Keller, Mel Schmidt, good morning. Brian Wynn, COVID's impact on bowl season. Hawaii and A&M opt out. It cancels the game tonight. 5-7 Rutgers in the Gator Bowl. I talked about this on the show on AFR yesterday, Brian, about, I keep getting messages from people, so I just wanted to address it, like about, this is going to be the end of the bowl of the bowl structure, yada, yada. Not exactly. You got to keep in mind, there's really two ways that, three, that the bowl organizers make money. Their TV deal, their title sponsor, and then ticket sales. And some may think, well, why would they put a game on TV if nobody goes or it's not really interesting? Because live sports programming is like the holy grail of TV content. You can eat up a 3.5 hour block of day. When you got to fill 24 hours of programming, you can eat up 3 hours with one event. Live sports, I mean, there's a reason why the MAC is on Tuesday nights, right? They're not doing gangbusters on their ratings, but it's live sports. It's why it's on. And so there will always be a place. If there's football, there will be a place on ESPN or any of the ESPN networks. I mean, think of your ESPN. You've got ESPN2, U, Classic, SEC Network, and then FS1, FS2, CBS Sports Network. I mean, somebody is going to televise these games. That's one. Two is the title sponsor. And the value to the title sponsor isn't even necessarily the 3 hours that they're on TV for the game. It's the year-long promotion leading up to the game into the bowl season, right? I mean, every time you look at bowl projections, or anytime people talk about bowls or list the bowls, or you do bowl pick'ems, like you're constantly mentioning that sponsor's name, right? So the game itself is part of it, but the year-long promotion surrounding college football is the real value to a bowl game sponsor. And then ticket sales, which is why you see the SEC being very strategic in the way that they match games. Look at what happened last night at Raymond James in Tampa for the Gasparilla Bowl. Gasparilla Bowl is nothing to write home about, but they matched Florida and Central Florida, so a ton of UCF people went, and it was right there in Tampa, and so they did a really well-attended game. LSU and Kansas State doesn't really pop, but Houston is the largest alumni base outside of sorry. Houston's the largest alumni base outside of here we go. Outside of Louisiana. So I was trying to find the attendance for last night's game, that Gasparilla Bowl. Let's see. Attendance 63,669. It's a darn near sellout for the Gasparilla Bowl. 63,000. Well, you got Florida and Central Florida. They're pumped, right? Rudy Yule, good morning from New Mexico. Another Christmas out here on this drilling rig. Well, be safe out there, man. Make the most of it. Merry Christmas to you. Leo Williams, Patrick Cason, good morning. Kyle DeVille, good morning. I know this won't be popular. How about them Cowboys clinched our playoff? Hey, bro, I don't care who you cheer for, but just if you're from Louisiana and you're a Cowboy fan, you're a poser. That's number one. And number two, Cowboys got a real problem, bro. His Dak stinks right now. Keith Bauer tried Sazerac at dinner out the other night. Bought a bottle the next day. Merry Christmas. There you go, Keith. Appreciate that, man. Cheers. Clinton Auta, good morning, man. Merry Christmas to you and yours as well. Hope y'all have an awesome holiday, an awesome Christmas with the fam, with the kiddos. Y'all go see Clint up at Oak Point in Central for your spirits. Not too. I would assume it's not too late. At least for part of the day, right? You got to be open part of the day on Christmas Eve. Keith Dardis, Scone. I joke a lot, but love the show, man. You do a great job. Merry Christmas. Thank you, Keith. Appreciate that. Chewy Gutierrez. I don't see Ian Book being any worse than Hill as a passer. He's probably better than Taysom Hill as a passer. How comfortable is he against an NFL defense? That's what remains to be seen. Brendan Samaha, good morning. Thoughts on LSU versus Auburn in basketball? Yeah, Brendan, I expect Auburn's going to be favored in the game and should be. It'll probably win it, which is okay, man. LSU's got a brutal start to the season, and at Auburn is real. Will said it last week, and he's right. It's the most difficult venue in the SEC. They shrunk down that arena. They put everybody right on top of the floor. They pack it out. The style of play that Bruce Pearl's team, it's sort of frenetic pace. It's really tough to go there and win. And keep in mind that everybody that's on this team that's either a freshman or a sophomore has never played in front of a packed out venue on the road in college basketball. So this can be a first for a lot of those guys. But defense travels, and hopefully that they shoot it well, and that defense really clamps down on Auburn, and they'd have a great chance to win it. But I think it's gonna be a really tough game, man. Shelby, a buddy texted me saying NFL and NBA are allowing asymptomatic players to play regardless of test results, claiming asymptomatic people can't spread COVID. Thoughts? Good. Why are we testing asymptomatic people anyway? It's stupid. It's fundamentally stupid. Like, if you're sick, get tested, stay home. If you're not, go about your life. We've lost common sense. Like we're chasing numbers instead of looking at reality, which is the new variant is spreading, but people aren't getting sick. Like, okay, that's a great thing, by the way. That's a wonderful thing. Like, that's a huge difference from the Delta variant where people were getting very sick. So go about your lives. Enjoy your families. Shelby Kelly, Kendall Rogers did a D1 podcast where he and 3 other writers went over their favorite fall preview. They talked about LSU a good bit. Got me pumped about the season. Oh, more than I already was. Any news on who's going to quarterback for the Texas Bowl? Not yet, Kyle. I will tell you all this. Matt O'Dowd was on crutches last week. So I don't know if that's precautionary or whatever. But if they don't get the waiver for Nussmeier, that means it would be John Trey. Jeremy Kling, good morning. Samuel Merrifield, that's it, right? The Jimmy Kimmel Bowl. It's kind of the point. When are we going to see the Red Stick Bowl sponsored by Whiskey and Wine? Never. There's not a venue in Baton Rouge that's worthy of hosting, Tiger Stadium notwithstanding, but there's no venue in Baton Rouge worthy of hosting a bowl game. And trust me when I tell you, Whiskey and Wine doesn't make nearly enough money to sponsor a bowl game. Mark, you keep going back to the well with Taysom Hill. Jesus. Mark, you're going to be really sad when that dude never takes a snap at quarterback again in his career. Bubba Tatum, morning. Reminder for those of you who don't live out of state. Do not take the fact that you can buy liquor at the grocery store for granted. It's a beautiful thing. Picked up two 1.75s Sazerac Rye for Old Fashions. There you go. Yes, sir. Not only the grocery store, brother, but gas stations, man. When you don't have to go find a packaged liquor store, it's very true. Mark, good morning. Night Ranger Firehouse Autograph and Lillian Axe playing in Gonzales, Lamar Dixon Saturday. That's a old Scott Ennis show. Josh is coming in. He's going to that show. He told me that. Brian Broom, good morning. Steve Colson. What's up, Steve Colson? Good morning. Independence Bowl brought to you by Hudco Roofing. Now, give me another decade or so. We might be talking about that. Old Colson. How about the Celivate Bowl, Steve Colson? The Hudco Roofing Bowl presented by Celivate. Something like that, maybe? Let's see. Mark, Pelicans won 4th in a row. Saw that. Pelicans on a little bit of a winning streak here, man. Maybe Willie Green's found something out about his team. SEC West in baseball is so loaded. Kendall Rogers has LSU 4th best team in the West behind Arkansas, State, and Ole Miss. I'm okay with that until you see what the staff can do. I think they're going to be really good, though. Let's see. Keith H. Matt, I'm a new subscriber. You're the best. Glad I caught the show Tuesday night. You were on fire. You don't tolerate fools. So it was Wednesday, keep in mind. Thank you, Keith. You're Wednesday, that's Nightcap with Scone on Whiskey Wednesday. So we do that on Wednesdays. But thank you for watching, man. Appreciate it. Matt, I used to like grits and sausage. Now I like the Scone and the Hudco jingle. Merry Christmas to the Moscona family, especially Drew. Thank you, Keith. Appreciate that, man. Very kind. Scott Sparks, imagine Adam Miller on this team. I do hope he returns. Wayne Dolce, good morning from Virginia, D.C. Got some rye whiskey from George Washington's Mount Vernon for the game on Monday. Yes, don't take for granted where you can buy alcohol in Louisiana. Jeffrey, good morning. Dwayne, official, what's up? Dave and Durr, the walk-ons. But walk-ons sponsored the Independence Bowl for a few years. I don't know why they didn't renew that sponsorship. Dame Bergeron, we need the Catholic High Fight song for Christmas. Where are we? Sorry, I think I skipped some comments. I think my YouTube comments went to the end. My bad. Let me see if I can get back here to where I was. Kyle Milliken, I think Sean will tell Ian Book he doesn't have to go try to win the game because of the Saints' defense. Yeah, I mean, and listen, the thing I'll say about Ian Book for sure is, man, dude won a lot of games at Notre Dame. He was 30-5. He's played a lot of football. There's no question that going from college, even major college, to the NFL is just a massive leap, and especially at that position. It's why you don't see many rookie quarterbacks have great success. But can he just go function within this offense? I hope so. Let's see. Book is a gunslinger. Let the guy play. You just can't. Dave, the thing is, man, whenever you have when you have that good of a defense, man, sometimes you just have to be able to play complementary football. So, Let's see. Randall Offreck, wife bought me a bottle of chicken cock. Never had it. How is it? Randall, we talk about it every week with Taylor. I haven't had it either, honestly. It's like $60 a bottle and our 55, $60 a bottle, and I haven't pulled the trigger. Like, I won't spend that much on something until I've tried it. And I haven't tried it yet, so. Dave and Durr, real story behind A&M pulling out. They had 20 positive COVID tests. They had fewer than 40 scholarship players available. The NCAA will make a decision on Nussmeier January the 5th. I see what you did. Very well done. Cortland Jacob. Had they had any COVID issues all season? That seems odd. Well, Cortland, look at just what's happening right now. The whole thing with the Omicron, however the hell you say this variant, is that it's very contagious and it's spread very quickly. But the other thing to it is that the burn rate was like 30 days. So it hasn't really, like when it was in Europe and other parts of the world, it burned in like 30 days. Like, you know, they'll say like a virus has to run its course. Well, the Delta variant lasted a very long time. You know, the original COVID variant lasted months and months. This one lasts like 30 days. So it comes and spreads very quickly, burns off, and then you're done with it. And it's not very potent. So that's why you're seeing a huge spike in cases. But, I mean, people aren't getting sick. So it's like, why are we, whatever. I don't want to talk about COVID. Robert Cooley, morning from Matt from Arvada, Colorado. Hope you enjoy the time off. Thank you, Robert. Appreciate that. Same to you and yours. Do me a favor, y'all smash the like if you would. So a shout out to Brock. And if you need an orthopedist, Brock is the best. Spine, neck, knees, feet, elbows, hands. They do it all. PT, pediatrics, the after hours clinic. They're the best, man. It's good enough for LSU and the Saints. Good enough for me, for sure. Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. And they are hiring, by the way, over at Brock. So if you want a career in medicine, check out brortho.com, brortho.com. Let those you know who may be looking for a change in career, who have experience in the medical field, might be looking for a change. Brock is hiring, brortho.com, brortho.com. Of course, Hudco Roofing, hudcoroofing.com. Will Adam Miller return? I hope so. Replaced by Rutgers must be a new low. Wayne, what did you think about the Central Florida game? A good game, really competitive game. UCF beat Florida last night. Bowl games it's just so hard to project bowl games now. It was already hard enough to project bowl games when you had just the question of motivation, like who wanted to be in a game. And now you throw in all the opt-outs, like, well, who do you actually have playing and who's motivated? It's just tough, man. It's really tough to project bowl games. Eric Wilderrider, morning, Matt. Kind of joking, but are you offended Taysom out has moved the line 4.5 points? I'm not surprised at all, Eric. I mean, you're going to be playing a quarterback that's never taken a snap. At least Taysom has started games in the NFL before. I mean, you literally have no idea what to expect with Ian Book. Trent Martin, Matt, a lot of smoke around Russell Wilson. What do you think? I wanted to talk about it yesterday. I didn't get to go too deep into it on AFR, which ran out of time. But Bill Barnwell at ESPN.com put together an interesting piece where it was like basically best guess as to what happens with the quarterbacks this offseason. And he did project Russell Wilson to the Saints for 2 1s, 2 3s, and Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. I'd do that deal in a heartbeat. Gulf South, good morning. What kind of NCAA violation will it take for LSU to fire Will Wade at this point? If Will Wade gets pegged with like a 6-year show cause or something like that, I mean, that's probably about the only thing. LSU seems pretty committed to their guy. And, so far, when you look at the cases that have been closed, Bruce Pearl just got like a 2-game suspension. Now, granted, it was Chuck Pearson, his assistant, who was the one caught in the middle of that, and Will Wade is the one on the wiretap, and NC State, their case was closed this week. Mark Gottfried, who was the coach at the time, got a 1-year show cause. Orlando Early, the assistant, got a 6-year show cause. So, I mean, that's really the only question, Gulf South, is when the NCAA closes the book. And keep in mind, LSU still hasn't even gotten a notice of allegation. LSU still hasn't even got their NOA, let alone any type of punishment, resolution. So, I mean, if Will Wade gets a show cause, then and if you have that, then you can't coach for that length of time. He's out. Does he get a show cause for a year and he just doesn't coach for a year and then is back in at LSU? Maybe. That wouldn't actually stun me if they decided to do that. Mark, what is a Scone Christmas Eve tradition? Well, Mark, thank you for asking. We go to Erica's family's house for Christmas Eve, and then we do my family's Christmas Day. So Erica has 2 sisters, so it's their parents, the 3 sisters, husbands, kids. So all my nieces, nephews, sisters-in-law, their husbands, father-in-law, mother-in-law. All of us do Christmas Eve dinner and presents for the family and all that sort of stuff. Just kind of have a night of it. And then tomorrow we'll do Santa's stuff, here, and then go to my cousin's house for the whole Moscona family Christmas. Are you encouraged by the new strength and conditioning team and nutrition for LSU football? Sure. Looks good so far. Tough spot to step into, right? I mean, where Moffitt's been there for so long. That's such a tough spot. But yeah, I think they've handled it just as well as they can. If the Saints make the playoffs, this will be by far the best coaching job Peyton has done. I agree with that. Miles Brennan assumed starting quarterback for LSU football in 2022. I don't know if he's the assumed starting quarterback. Definitely the front runner. How about the GMEX Bowl or the GMEX Superdome? I'm down with it. The Gamecoin Bowl. Might not be too far off. Reagan Lee, if Kelly can put together a few more transfers, get a solid O-line, what do you think the expectations for next season is? Yeah, man, let me see what the roster looks like, right? I don't know if y'all noticed, but they keep offering transfers, and it's to be expected. Now, how many of those can they actually get on board? We'll see. But they offered a lineman from Albany. They offered a receiver. Now I got to go find it. There it is. Jacob Cowing, a receiver, I think, from UTEP. You know what I mean? So they're out there. I thought there was another one. It's a lineman from Albany. Receiver from UTEP. I thought there was another one. I can't find it right now. Anyway, but y'all can see the point, right? They're offering a bunch of transfers. They're trying to solidify and fortify this roster with transfers. So Ian Book should have been a first-round pick, but was too short. I don't know that I would have gone first-round pick, but you are what you are, right? Arkansas receiver, Florida receiver in the portal. Yeah, there's going to be plenty of options, man. Is Russell Wilson a true opportunity to the Saints or just a conversation? Gabriel, it's a real legitimate thing, man. Keep in mind, he was displeased this last offseason and would have accepted a trade, he said, to 4 places, and one of them was the Saints. And if you look at, now, Rodgers is for sure going to be gone. Aaron Rodgers' cap hit next year in Green Bay is almost $50 million. They restructured his deal effectively to give them an out after this season, and he won't be back. I don't want to speak in absolutes, but man, it would take a monumental about face for Rodgers to be back in Green Bay. Russell Wilson has an out in his contract after this year, right? If he's out, so here you go. Russell Wilson's cap number in Seattle next year is $37 million. Their dead cap number is $26 million. If they trade him or release him, would trade him pre-June 1, they would save $11 million. $11 million against the cap. So it does make sense, actually, for Russell Wilson. If he's not happy there and they want to move on and they feel like they have an option behind Russell Wilson, whoever that will be, I don't know. That's not my place to decide what Seattle does there. But they would have the option next year to trade him. So now New Orleans would have to extend him and sign him to a longer term deal because he wouldn't come here for just 2 years. But you're talking about a guy that's 33 years old. You know, how much more does he have in the tank? Are you willing to, to invest a 5-year deal into Russell Wilson at 33, to take him to his late 30s? Maybe, and if you are, I think you can get yourself a Super Bowl out of it. I'd be down with it. So yeah, I mean, it's a very real thing. Whoever that was, Gabriel. It's a very, very real possibility. To what degree or what likelihood would we say? I don't know. I mean, that's really, to each their own to say, and we'll find out in time. But is it a real possibility? Absolutely. That's a very real possibility. Book's going to be pumped with his former coach up the street now, yeah. You know what's interesting, too, man? We tried... I reached out both to the Saints and to Ian Book's agent when Brian Kelly was hired to try to get Book on the show to talk about Brian Kelly. And everybody declined. They wouldn't do it, which is really strange. I mean, I don't know why he wouldn't want to come on just to talk about Brian Kelly, but they just passed on everything. He hasn't done any media since he... since the preseason. Jeremy Weiss, 3-3 over the first 6 games, be what we hope for. The brutal start to SEC playing basketball. It's really the first 7 that are brutal. 6 of the first 7 that you play are ranked opponents, and the only one that's unranked is Florida, who was a top 15 team at one point. And that's on the road. So I would love for LSU to come out of that 5-2. I think you would really flex your muscle as a legitimate contender if you come out of that 5-2. I do not expect them to beat Auburn on the road. I do think they have an amazing chance to beat Kentucky at home. So if you split those first 2 and start 1-1, and then let's also see what's up with Tari Eason's back. I mean, they got to get Tari Eason healthy and on the floor. But you go at Auburn, home against Kentucky, home against Tennessee, which you can and should win. You're at Florida, which is always a tough place to play, but that is a winnable game for sure. I mean, Texas Southern went there and won. I mean, you can win that game. You're home against Arkansas, and Arkansas is a good team, and Musselman's a good coach. But you should win that game at home. And then you're at Bama, at Tennessee. I think if you can split those 2 and be 5-2, then you cruise. You get A&M at home, and they're brutal. You got to go to TCU for the SEC Big 12 Challenge. Then you get Ole Miss. You're at Vanderbilt, which is a tough place to play. Memorial Gym, it's weird. And Scottie Pippen's a good player, but it's Pippen's son, but you should beat Vanderbilt. At A&M, again, not very good. Home against State, home against Georgia, at South Carolina. You do go to Rupp late in the season. Then you get Missouri, at Arkansas, which Bud Walton's a tough place to play, but you can win that game. And then you're home against Bama. I mean, you get through these first 7 at 5-2. I mean, it's realistic that you're talking about 15-3, 14-4 in conference. I mean, you legitimately could be talking about that type of record if you get through this first stretch at like 5-2. Any chance Sharif is back? Yeah, he's working to get back. I think they will have him back at some point this season. Darren Gagnon, someone or some people have it out for our Tigers. Just kidding, kind of LOL. Schedule is brutal. Yeah, and the baseball schedule too, yeah. And you're in the SEC, man. Some years it works in your favor, some years it doesn't. Like last year in baseball, I remember like they avoid Vanderbilt. They got Florida at home, and they never went back-to-back road series. Like they got a really favorable, baseball schedule last year. Sometimes it works out that way, and sometimes it doesn't. It's just a brutal start, but you have a much more manageable finish. So even if you stumble early, you have plenty of time to make it up, right? Lineman from Cali, Polian offered. Yeah, that's right. From Cal, that's right. There's yeah. They're doling out offers, man. I mean, they are scouring the transfer portal and they're trying to fortify this roster and to be a team that's competitive nationally next year. And you get your numbers up, and you get some transfers that can be immediate plug-and-play guys, and you keep the current guys on the roster here. Yeah, you can absolutely. All right. Might be just about done, guys. As always, HUDCO Roofing, HUDCOroofing.com. I can mention to you all the time. Now that a lot of you have the day off, might be a good opportunity to take a little bit of time, go over to the website, HUDCOroofing.com, fill out the contact form. We'll be in touch. We'll get you scheduled. Maybe with it's a good opportunity with holidays here. You're going to see a lot of family. Maybe family who was affected by Ida still doesn't have their roof finished, blue tarp, or having trouble with the roofing company. Tell them to give us a shout, HUDCOroofing.com, or email me directly, matt@HUDCOroofing.com. Do business with someone you know, HUDCO Roofing, HUDCOroofing.com. And of course, Brock is hiring, so brortho.com, brortho.com to learn more. You need an orthopedist, you go to Brock. Thinking about a new career in 2022 or just a new job in 2022, Brock is hiring, brortho.com. Merry Christmas, Scott. Appreciate that. Gulf South, good point. The other day you said you hate the all-black football uniforms. Looking at your shirt, does Catholic wear all black? Yes. Here's the points, Gulf South. I'm glad you brought this up, because I should have clarified on air. I hate the Saints all-black uniforms because there is no accent. That's the problem. Solid black pants with no stripe on the side, solid black jerseys with no stripes on the shoulders. You have to have an accent to break up the single dominant color. Like you mentioned Catholic. Yes, Catholic, we had black jerseys, but we had an orange and white stripe on the sleeves. We had black pants, we had an orange and white stripe down the leg. It's not just that you're wearing all black, it's that you're wearing all black with no accent to break it up. That's the problem. See? It looks like yoga pants. That's a good point. That's the problem with it. That's the same thing with Baltimore. The Ravens wear their all blacks, and it's the same thing. It's just an all black jersey with the number and all black pants with nothing else on it. It's like in baseball. LSU's home whites are terrible because they don't have the piping on it anymore. Like, you have to have piping up the numbers and around the neck. It's got to break up. It's got to be around the sleeve. You have to have an accent on it. Otherwise, it looks just like a blob, one big blob of a color. Anyway. Does that make sense? It's like look at the color rush uniforms, all white, but they've got the gold and black stripe down the leg, and they've got the stripes on the shoulders. That's why, I guess not technically, it's not over the shoulder. It's like around the armband, but you know what I mean. Anyway, let's see. Drake, love the color rush, exactly. Glenn Thomas, Merry Christmas. Okay, y'all, I think we're just about done. We've been here a good minute here. Been here almost an hour. All right, Merry Christmas, y'all. Have a great holiday. I got a lot of errands to run today with the day off. Hope you and yours have just a beautiful day, great time with family. Sincerely, Merry Christmas to everybody. Be safe. Make good decisions. You know, if you're drinking, don't drive. And hope everybody has just an awesome Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. We will be back tomorrow, even if it's just to pop on for a few minutes to wish everybody Merry Christmas. But y'all have a great day, and we'll see you soon. Peace.